Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer. Welcome back to Motorsport Manager. This is episode number 25. We head into qualifying at the Ardennes race, aka Spa. It's the Belgian Grand Prix. And we got our setup just right. The only downside was we weren't able to get the last level of qualifying or super soft. I started with the Ultras because there's a chance there was going to be enough pace in them to make it worthwhile to go with the two-stop race on the Ultras. Now, after looking at the times, I'm not so sure. The times between the Ultras and the Supers, really close together. The race, 49 laps. So you can see these will last maybe 40. They'll get you most of the race. The mediums actually will get you the entire race, but there's a massive gap in performance between them, much more than what a stop is worth. The Ultras, though, at 27 for max is probably only going to be about 22 laps worth, which means that would get you 44. You come up 5 laps short. What I think may end up happening is we'll take the Ultra Soft bonus, the plus 15% in the race, start with the Ultras, run a good hard stint early on, and then finish the race on the Super Softs without the bonus, which would be a little bit slower and we wouldn't benefit as much, but either way, let's go ahead and get to qualifying. One of the longest tracks on the circuit. Lap takes a minute and a half to complete. And we start right away with trying to get some pace as we go through Eau Rouge. Get these tire temps up. So we go through the chicane after the end of it into Sector 2. And those tire temps still just now kind of getting where they need to get. And now let's start cooling it off gradually together. Boy, the tire temps immediately cooling. Brakes are not. Come on, brakes. Alright. Oh, I got it in the end. I got it. Okay. Nice. Perfect setup there. And let's see what we can do for Jean-Eric Verne, though. It looks like he's going to head out into a crowd. And Max comes around the corner into the same crowd. Verne will start pushing for now. Get that speed up done. We're going to make sure we stay away from Max, but Max coming up on a Renault and a Mercedes in front of him. Hopefully they do not block him. He's getting awfully close to that Renault now. We'll begin our slowdown. Meanwhile, let's keep an eye on Max. Purple Sector 2 at the moment, but yes, it does look like that Renault is forcing him to kind of check up a little bit. Oof. Verne overheated. Even trying to slow down at the end wasn't enough. Max, it should be a good first time, but of course there's a lot of drivers coming. He'll move way down the order, but is he high enough to get out of Q1? 2 seconds slower than Vettel. That's not too bad. That's not too bad. On a track this length, I mean, Wickens is less than 2/10 in front of us. But Rosberg's ahead of us. Okay, maybe not so good. Maybe not so good. We are ahead of Verline. Hamilton quickest through the first 2 sectors. Oh, look at Verne ends up putting in the monster time. I think it was the Renault. I think Verstappen's problem is the Renault. Was blocking his path, so he had the perfect setup. No track grip though when he started his lap, so he's going to have less grip. That's going to slow him down for one. But I think the biggest factor was the Renault right in front of him, and I think that ruined his attempt. Vern, though, monster of a lap for us anyway, and that's P12. I think that's the fastest we've ever been in qualifying in a season and a half in the dry, where you don't have mixed conditions to help you out. Now, 3 minutes to go, and it's a pretty lengthy lap out there, so we want to make sure we get out there early enough. I think it's about time we do that. Vern, that might be enough. That might be enough to get out of here and into Q2. Max right now looks like he'll have clean air, but it depends on when everybody else comes out. And speaking of, let's get Vern out there for another lap just in case. You never know. I'd love to save a set of tires, but don't think that's going to be necessary. We have plenty. Vern's already got a good time. We'll set him to auto. There we go. And we focus on Max, who's taking a lot longer to heat up his tires. He's good on tire heating, so it actually is hard for him to get up to temperature, and those brakes are just not coming down at all. Perfect on the tire temps. Bit overheated on the brake temps. Alright, take over here for Vern towards the end. He's already getting down to where he needs on the tire temps, the brake temps. Perfect overheated, about same as Max. Meanwhile with Max, he is white in Sector 1, so he's off the pace, and he's got clear track. Vern does not. Vern starts his lap with an Alpha just in front of him. It's Ericsson. Ericsson right out in front of Jean-Eric Vern. Time's up. Last lap. Only a handful of cars out here, so Vern is good. Vern's good. He's not going anywhere. He's green in Sector 1 anyway. Meanwhile, Max white in both of the first two sectors. Verline's going to go by him. Max is going to end up starting from last place. Unless he puts in a monster third sector, he'll start from last place. That's the case. So Verline gets by 3 milliseconds. Look at that. He's 100th of a second, or he was a moment ago, 100th of a second out of 21st. Vern, meanwhile, white sector 2, heads to the finish line, caught behind the Alpha, so he's definitely not improving his time. But he does not only escape Q1, but he does it from 12th place. There's a raccoon on my fence right now. Hamilton quickest. We got one car through. It's a rare feat for us. And speaking of these cars, new parts that were either done prior to the last race but not usable yet, or just parts that are brand new. We do have a couple new parts that made it onto the cars. Verstappen has one upgraded part, but Vern actually ended up with a couple upgraded parts, including he's got a better engine than Max has right now, and that could be the reason why he's in a stronger position. Let's go ahead and get you out there for your first lap. Now, the reason for that was the reliability. There's a chance that Vern's going to have an issue with reliability. I made sure that everything Max has didn't have reliability issues. With Vern, he's got such a slow car. To get into the points, he needs everything he can get, at the risk of having to stop and fix parts or DNFing. So I went ahead and took a couple of the parts that are better, but not built reliably yet, and put those on Vern's car, and we instantly see how much better things are for him. The odd thing was I put better parts on Vern's car, And instantly he starts complaining about how much better. Oh, so close. So close to getting that right for him. Let's speed things up as we run through the lap. Oh no, we have a Mercedes behind us. He better get out of the way quick. I'm ruining his lap, but he's ruining my lap. That's Hamilton. He's on an in lap. Okay. It's Hamilton and he's on an in lap. He's backed off. 1.8 off. We only have 1 second to spare before the end. Can we get above 18th? Only just 17th ahead of Stroll. Ooh, time's running a little bit low to get back out there for another lap. We're going to have to come in pretty much immediately. The grip's pretty good right now. We have the tires to certainly run another lap, but let's speed things up. Let's bring you back in. 2 minutes. Minute 48. This is, I don't think we're going to make it. Minute 44. Minute 40. No, we're out of time. Minute 35. Not enough time, so this is going to be our one and only run. Stroll is going to get another chance. Let's go ahead and watch with him as he is out already on track. Sector 1. He goes green in Sector 1. Will he knock us down to 18th? I waited too long for that first lap. Green in Sector 2. It looks like Stroll will improve his time. Most likely, he's only 1.1 behind. He's 7/10 up from what we were on that lap. And wow, Stroll all the way up into 10th place. What a ride by him. And that's it. P18 for us. That's still, we got out of Q1. I'll take it. Hamilton, again, quickest here in Q2. Glock, second. Vettel and Bottas, third and fourth. Magnussen cannot escape Q2. He improves his time, but does not improve his position. Vern actually well off the pace here, but not getting that second lap has a bit to do with that. Union Jack waving right over Hamilton's pit box. Good place for it, huh? Rosberg all the way in 13th? Really? How are you doing that? That weak car. I guarantee you, his attribute ratings aren't that great. They shouldn't be. Maybe I'll have to scout him just to see. Vettel quickest the first time out. Hamilton only second quickest. Second time through. Hamilton goes fastest in the final sector to beat Vettel by 7 milliseconds. That was a good lap, especially the finish. He was better each sector, but it was Sector 3 where he brought it home to take the pole. Glock only manages third, so Vettel joined Hamilton on row number 1. Bottas, row number 2, so we have a Mercedes, Ferrari, and then, of course, Red Bull behind that. McLaren, a bit of a no-show in this one. Opening the doorway, and really Red Bull too. Red Bull's a second off the pace. Looks like top 4 could run away with this race. Or should I say drive away with this race? Okay, so here's that tricky part. Do we go for the super soft, take the 10% bonus, and run the entire race on super softs with a total of 25% bonus, which will definitely make us quicker? Or do we take the 30% bonus on the ultras, go as long as we can on them? If we get lucky, if there's a safety car in there somewhere, we might be able to make a one-stopper work and be on ultras for the entire race. It would require a safety car. It's a risky move, but maybe we should go for it. We'd be faster. That's what I'm going to try to do. So we're going to try to conserve tires, go as deep as we can, and again, second time around, and hope that a safety car in there somewhere buys us the few more laps we need, which actually I think is about 5, so I'm not quite sure we're going to get there. We might have to switch to the super softs for our second stint, or take the risk of having to run a whole nother pit stop in order to get to the end of the race. We're not going to push for long. The tires will A, heat up, and B, eat up. So here we are in Belgium, Spa, for the Grand Prix, and let's go racing. What a start by Verstappen. Oh, but he gets checked up by the Alpha and can't make up more than just one position. And he's already right on the tail of Verne and has gone around him 3 wide. That's a Ferrari all the way to the back. It is. It's Sebastian Vettel in last place. So Vettel making a Vettel-esque mistake goes to the back of the grid. Meanwhile, Verstappen doing what he does and working his way to the front. He's in 13th already. Once we get these tires up to heat, we need to back off a little bit, though Verstappen at the moment going a little bit backwards. But into the top 15 is a good place for him. Meanwhile, Verne is very much at the back. We're in a little bit of a Haas sandwich at the moment, along with Pierre Gasly, who's also made a mistake. Not as bad as Vettel's, but he's had a bit of a slow start, one he'd certainly like to forget. And we're starting to settle in what looks like P15 at the end of the lap, and I love that you're seeing the sparks up ahead. Alright, time to back off. After the straight, we'll back off with Verstappen, and there you go. Oof, big lockup. Luckily we had already backed off. Here comes the Ferrari. I'm definitely not racing him, so we settle down a spot into P16. And, oh, looky. Timo Glock under investigation and going backwards. He's collided with somebody and has some serious damage. Timo Glock down to 22nd, now 24th. Last place for Timo Glock, and you would imagine he is headed for the pits. Meanwhile, his teammate Hamilton already has a 4-second lead. Bottas had a slow start in the Ferrari, leaving only one of those masterful 4 cars that have a clear advantage here. The other 3 all having problems, at least for Bottas compared to the other 2. He's the only one who has a minor problem. Glock, still under investigation. Looks like he has a penalty. He also has damage that he's fixing. He probably lost his wing smacking into the back end of somebody. Hopefully not his teammate. Verstappen back down to 16th as Wickens gets around in the Williams. We stayed ahead of Magnussen, so we still have a Haas sandwich here, but we've dropped back a little bit from Grosjean and pulled away a little bit from Magnussen. There's Perez in 17th now. Verne 23rd. In 24th place, Timo Glock is miles behind. He's nearly 50 seconds behind Verne for the next last position. Is it just me, or are these tires actually cooling off when I thought we were going to have some heating issues? Go ahead and push a little bit, Verne. Bring the temps up. Up Eau Rouge, you can really see the elevation change. This nice zoom in level. Through the chicane, the Williams with a problem, and we have to back off big time. Perez takes advantage of it and comes through. So that cost us. That was all Wickens there with his lockup. Verstappen was just too close to the rear end, and so he had to hit the brakes hard. Perez, a little further back, had more time to react. Verstappen having a look at Wickens here, trying to get back up a spot into 16th. He certainly should, as Wickens is on the mediums. Verne currently battling with Cassidy back and forth, and then you got Verline and Norris right in front of him as well. Alright, done with that push. Back up to Max. Max in 17th. Field still bunched up pretty closely, at least from Sainz, all the way back to Cassidy. Verne making his way through a little bit. He's up to 20th now. They certainly should. Most of these guys are on the slower tires. Leclerc, after a fantastic start, is up into P6, and he can go the distance on mediums. And that's so weird to say that this could be a zero stopper. There's no rules regarding stopping and changing tire compounds. I like the way they have the downhill section here set up as you head back towards the front straight. Even if it doesn't quite resemble actual Spa. Eau Rouge, though, is very Eau Rouge-esque. So they got that part right. I think they kind of had to, as iconic as it is. Okay, and yes, it looks like tire heating is going favorably for us. I think it's going to be time we start to make a move here, but I want to wait until we come through this section. Once we get around out here and begin to accelerate, that's where I want to push for Verstappen. So just about there now, just about there, and there we go. Down the hill. Max, push a little bit more. Come on, come on, come on. Get up there, get up there. Get tight on him so that maybe after Eau Rouge, you might have a chance to get on by. I know, it seems like he was braking a little bit early, and that puts Max a little too far back here. Ooh, there you go. Nice move, Max, up to 16th. Causing a collision. Action. Awesome. Oh, my goodness. How many laps? Not enough. Not enough. So we're looking at a mess here for Vern, who has more than half a lap to go. An attack. Save some fuel though. That puts Vern down to 23rd. Glock's still a long ways behind for now, but he'll close right up. So Vern just ruined his own race by driving into somebody's gearbox. Obviously we didn't see it, so I don't know who or what, but I think it was Ericsson that he was under investigation for hitting. And would make sense. I believe he was in 20th. And there's Ericsson in 19th. And it's a drive-through penalty for Vern. So he's going to be coming in twice. He's going to make the pit stop here. Front wing change. That's good. No mistakes, but he still has a drive-through penalty to make. Go neutral, neutral. Alright, so Verstappen, where are we? Oh, we are almost at that time where we want to push again, and we're going to need to defend here. So let's start pushing now before we lose the spot to the Williams and have to reclaim that. This is then going to allow us to put some pressure on Rosberg. On those mediums, we need to get around him, as he will not have to stop today. If we're going to beat him, we've got to beat him out on the track. And I think once we get in front of him on the Ultras, we can pull away. Though for whatever reason, Rosberg seems to have some pace here at Spa in a car that shouldn't have that kind of pace. Drive-through penalty. Vern heading through pit road right now. Still just now coming out of pit road. Nearly a lap down, Jean-Eric Vern. I'll have one more stop to make later. His 5 laps short shouldn't be an issue anymore. Max still pushing, and we've got another lap to go. Pushed a lot longer than he should have. Not as close. It's like he was having a look there to see if he could make a move. And instead he ends up off the pace because he brakes early and then he's off the racing line. We need to get around. We need to get around this guy. And you know what? This is not the place to do it though, is it? But let's try to attack. Before these tires overheat, we need to really push and get around him. We're already almost a lap to the bad on the fuel. Okay, come on, Max, you're in a good position now. Make the pass. Make the pass. Come on, Max. Again, he does the same thing heading into turn number 1. And it forces him to back off. And now he's overheating the tires. And... now he locks up and loses a position instead. Yeah, good job, Max. Good job. Thought you were a world-class driver. It's also not good for my objective of trying to make the tires last, but we really needed to get around Rosberg there to get into some clean air, make our way up towards Perez, secure 15th, get away from Rosberg and Wickens on these medium tires. Now Verstappen's going to have a hard time getting back around Wickens as we're driving conservatively. He's clearly got more pace than Wickens, but can't get away from him because he's stuck behind Rosberg. And Verne, meanwhile, well, he's just cruising around in last place, nearly a lap down. Hamilton's teammate isn't doing much better, as he is also nearly a lap down, but he's not. So there's that. Alright, let's go back to neutral. Let's see, are we in the happy zone? We're going to be in the happy zone in a little bit here. We'll go overtake on the engine on the exit here. Can we get back around Wickens and at least do something there? Come on, come on. Go, 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 go! Verstappen! What are you doing? Oh my goodness. Max is just bottling it. I'm about to put a fork in him. He's done for this race. As now here comes Magnussen. Well, you're too far back this time. We're not even going to try. Verne is now a lap down. The only car a lap down. And almost all the cars are only a half a lap down, so safety car now would be race over for Verne. We need Hamilton to pit and then the safety car come out. Okay, nearly there. We're going to try to push again this time. We are close. Oh, almost, but not quite. %. It's only lap 17. These tires are definitely not going to get us, so it's either going to be a two-stopper or we need to go to the super softs to the end of the race, and I'm starting to think that might be the way to go. Vettel has already pit. He's out in 11th place. Whoa. And Max loses a spot to Magnussen. Going backwards. Is it the tire wear? Probably is. Here comes Ericsson now. Yeah, we're definitely dropping back. We're now 8 seconds behind Rosberg, who we were battling not long ago. But Wickens pushed us back by about 4 seconds, and now we backed ourselves up into Magnussen, and getting behind him is slowing us down even more. 25%. I think we're going to have to make a decision, and this will be the last lap. We're going to attack. Do an in-lap here. Already gone around, so let's set you up. We're not going to make it on these. We're only getting 19 laps. I figured maybe we could get as many as 22, maybe 21. Not even close. So, Super Softs will definitely get us to the end of the race. This will be our one and only stop of the day. No bonus on the Super Softs, so that kind of sucks. Still get the 15% race bonus at least. Ocon stops, giving up second place. He's going to come out on Super Softs. He's good to go to the end of the race, and he'll come out in third. So Hülkenberg, the only one getting around in the Renault. Hamilton has a massive lead in this race, 30 seconds, as Max Verstappen enters pit road, and it looks like a couple other cars are going to be stopping this time as well. And it's a good stop, but we come out in 22nd. Way over on our fuel load and about to get lapped by Lewis Hamilton. Verline pits, comes out in 23rd. Verstappen, 22nd. Glock, Grosjean, only a handful of cars have pit so far, but you can see Raikkonen pitting now, and many others on the Ultras will pit soon. So Verstappen a little early compared to the other cars, but only by a lap or two. And some of them pit on the same lap, and here goes Hamilton, but he has not pit yet. He's going to pit this lap. Pitting this lap, so don't suddenly think I have fuel to burn. Now here in the next little bit, I would actually be very welcome to a safety car, but I'd like it to be Grosjean crashes. How funny Grosjean crashes. He's out of the race. I wouldn't mind a safety car now, because Hamilton came out behind both cars, so we're back onto the lead lap. I would rather have one in about 7 laps, if we could hang on 7 laps, but I do not think that Vern can. I think Vern's going to have a bit of a problem before then. I'm going to assume that we're going to be lapped again soon, and if we're not, I'd rather have the fuel situation later be a problem than being a lap down now. So we'll stay ahead as long as we can. Verline just ahead of us in the Audi. Meanwhile, our 2 cars are definitely off the pace. A lot of cars that have not pit yet, though. And or will pit again. But quite a few of these cars ahead of us are on mediums. But they're on mediums that are over 50% burned up right now. And we are just now at the 50% way point of the race, meaning those guys might actually end up pitting before the end. Okay, could use that safety car. I could use that safety car. Okay, we're gonna have to back off here. Keep going with the fuel though. Come on, safety car, safety car, safety car. Help me out. We're too slow. Don't think it's gonna happen. Grosjean does what Grosjean does best. He crashed. But he didn't take anybody out with him. He just got a local yellow, and there goes Hamilton. Vern. Now we really can say that his race is done. He'll need to pit soon. We have 22 laps to go. Trying to think, when did he pit? Lap 7, so he's gone Has he gone 20 laps on these? I'm not going to pit yet. I just want to see. Yeah, he's on his 20th lap. He's about to enter lap 21. Of course, he got lapped, so I suppose he hasn't quite gone that far around, but still. He's done 20 laps on these with 21 to go. All he needs to do is get one more, and he actually can make it to the end on the Ultras. So we're going to keep him out there for one more lap, and then next lap we'll bring him in. And there you go, Jean-Eric Verne. Good job on the tires, buddy. Engine 38%. Gearbox 27. Don't think those are going to make it the distance. We're out of fuel even with the lap difference that we have. We've burned through almost a full lap of fuel compared to Verstappen, who's just cruising along at 20th, by the way. It's a good stop. It's a good stop. And he now should be in good shape to make it to the end of the race. And right there at neutral. Good timing for that. Okay. Well, he's been lapped, so we don't need to focus on him anymore. Here's our last chance with Max of not getting himself lapped. And to help with that, let's go ahead and speed up as Lewis Hamilton sets a new fastest lap. Coming hard, coming fast, just behind us. Just a few seconds back there anyway. There he is. Catching glimpses of him, and we've got a whole bunch of cars right in front of us. And if we do get lapped, now we've got to go, please, no safety car, until he at least gets up ahead of, at minimum, like Rosberg in 12th. Yeah, ignore for now, but looks like Verne's reliability issues are going to be a real thing. And here comes Hamilton. We hold him off for now. Feel sorry for him as we're holding up his race, but he's 26 seconds in the clear. As long as we can keep it clean, I don't mind holding him up a little bit. Cassidy pits, going backwards. Verstappen up to 20th. Verne, nowhere near him. He's 20 seconds down. He's already been down pit road 3 times, so he's at a major disadvantage compared to everybody else. And a bit unfortunate that he and Timo Glock are the only drivers in this race to have been in that situation. Have to keep an eye on that gearbox and engine, because at some point we might have to come in to repair those. But Max, no man's land, 20th. Glock making his way around. Trio of cars just in front of us and pulling away from them. Oh no, that's Hamilton, and that was Raikkonen. I didn't collide with Raikkonen. He wasn't even on the track. Was he there? I didn't see him. I was looking at the mini-map, but I didn't see him in front of me. Well, son of a gun. Or something else, you know? Busted wing. Too many laps to go. Awesome. There goes our race. We're going to put on the Ultras. We're going to fix that wing, and we're going to pit. And we just went past pit road. What we can do, though, is we could do this. Attack this lap as hard as you can. But there goes our race. There goes our race. It's a good stop. Got an awesome pit crew. But now we're 22nd and 23rd. Last 2 cars running. We have the last 2 cars running. So Hamilton leads by a half minute over Esteban Ocon. Gearbox condition low. 15%. You know what? We're already in last place. Screw it. Right? Fix. Fix. No mistakes. Take your time. I don't care. It's going to take you a minute and a half. So Vern's going to go spend all day in the pits and, in essence, do a DNF. But take care of the car now, then get back out there. Pierre Gasly has crashed, and here comes the safety car. No, we are not going to pit, but we are going to back off. Bunch of cars stop, but we are so far behind. Doesn't matter. So we're in 21st, 23rd, and that's just because of the two cars. So we're still the slowest. Are we in a position with those extra stops? What does that mean for us? Nope. We're caught up down a lap anyway, aren't we? How many cars are actually down? It's 14th. It's Rosberg. Vern's down an extra lap or two, so he's got nothing to race for. But Max, we're going to push. See if we can't gain a ton of positions and get up to 14th. Could happen. 3 wide. That's the 2 Ferraris. Woo! We are caught in some traffic right now, aren't we? Up to 19th at the moment. Yellow flag, sector 3. I don't know who or what, but Sainz pulls off into the pits. And Leclerc, 10-second penalty for the collision with Sainz. All right, get out of the way. Okay, back off there. Oh my goodness, the extra fuel's gone. Norris colliding with Verline. That's behind us, in between us. It's 2 cars we did manage to get past in that sequence, but now we have to back off. We don't have the fuel. Oh! Cassidy! Cassidy loses his tires, and he's going backwards, so Max up to 18th. And we're not under investigation. For a second, I thought that was us. Rosberg with the lockup ahead of us. He's down to 17th now. He's the next car. We've got a bit of a gap in front of us, though. It's going to be a little difficult to cover. Let's conserve. In terms of tire wear, Raikkonen, his tires are pretty well done, and our tires are a lot fresher than the other guys around us. Glock and Bottas have a problem colliding together. Leclerc has spun. So we've gotten back to 18th. This tire's cooling very, very quickly. We'll heat this back up once we come around this bend, and we'll begin to push and push. See if we can make up a little ground on the straight. It's quite the gap to cover. Lap 47. 3 laps to go. Continue pushing up the straight through Eau Rouge until we hit the chicane, then we'll back off. Save the fuel and the tires for the next run. Glock and Bottas both going backwards, but 12 and 13 still there. They just come out in no man's land to race each other. So our race is now with Magnussen, Raikkonen, Ericsson, Rosberg, This is good because this is not good because one of the alphas is going to get points here today. I'd rather see Magnussen up there. Don't want to see Rosberg up there. So if I can make my way past these guys, this would be pretty big. 2 laps to go. Right now, we're a little too far behind. Back off a little bit, cool these tires down real quick. I'll go neutral through here. Okay, cool it down through these tight corners. One more. Now we'll start going neutral. And then as we come out of here, we push. And look how much closer we are now. But it's coming into the last lap. We don't get to do this another time. I think if we could, we'd be into 17th next lap, but I don't think we're going to get there this lap. Alright, we've got 56% tire wear. And there's 2 cars right in front of us. The Audi gets around the Alpha. Which one it is? Probably Ericsson, but it could be Raikkonen. Raikkonen's tires are in a lot worse shape. Car behind us could be getting in the way. It's just a Renault. It's Ricciardo in 4th place. None of that's for position. Come on, come on, come on. Come on, Max. Come on, Max. Up to 17th. He does get 17th at least, but only 17th. We get around... we won't let that go away. We got around one of the Alphas, and we really made our way up to the Audi in those last few laps. So we made a good move. We made progress, but all for naught. Meanwhile, Verne... 22nd, multiple laps down. Hamilton takes the race win. Things were bunched up, but he still won it comfortably in the end by 9 seconds over Vettel, and then 30 seconds to Ocon in 3rd. Huge gaps today. Vettel, after a terrible start, gets all the way back up to 2nd, but so much of that had to do with the safety car bunching the field back up and allowing him to then use the Ferrari power to make his way through those last few positions he needed. I know I had said I would do 2 races per episode. I just don't have the time for it right now, so that's why we're doing 1 this time. For the most part, the rest of this season will be 2 episodes. 2 races per episode. So 17th, 22nd. We went from the back. We went from 21st. We got 4 positions there in the end in those final 8-10 laps, but not enough to get in the points. Wow, look at all those penalties around there. Glock gets fastest lap, but only 6 points on the day. Raikkonen grabs 1 point for Alfa Romeo. It was Ericsson who we got past there at the end. Verstappen had the drive-through penalty. Verne had the drive-through penalty. Only 2 cars crashed out. Nobody busted for breaking rules. I mean, that's a different race for you. So Alpha pick up 1 point. At least it was only 1. Still 9 behind us. We're still 1 behind Audi. That's definitely where we're battling. But you could see us maybe reaching Haas before the end of the season if things go our way a bit. But that's going to do it for this episode. I'm Decathlon Gamer. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.